Okay.
Very well. In the co-main event, UFC 292, once again, in front of 18,000 strong at the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, Zhang Weili defended her women's strawweight title for the second time in a now second title reign against Amanda Lemos, shutting her out of the scorecards. This was utter domination every single round. The scorecards read 50-43, 50-44, and 49-45. So, one judge gave Santos one round, I think.
Chooch. He gave her round 4.
Yeah. Either way, pretty much across 25 minutes, Zhang Weili showed the world that she is probably going to be here to stay with the women's strawweight strap this time. Omar, let me start with you. What do you feel was the story of this fight between these two incredible women?
To be honest, man, it was very hard to get any other read other than Amanda Lemos was not ready for a championship opportunity. Zhang Weili is on a different level. She beat the crap out of that girl. I thought she won every single round. I don't even know how many 10-8 rounds you could give her in that fight, to be honest. The round 4, and I talked about this in the text message thread with you guys, but the round 4 scoring for Lemos was probably just a moment where Lemos didn't look as bad in that round as she did in every other round. And so I think that sort of juxtaposition in round 4 against every other round probably let somebody be like, oh, maybe she won that round and maybe edged it for her. But if you go back and rewatch that shit, there's no way you're going to tell me she won that round.
Yeah, I did. And she did not.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Zhang Weili won that fight handedly, 1-5. The only thing we really need to discuss, frankly, about the scoring is which rounds were 10-8 and which rounds were 10-9.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mark, let's get you in here. What do you feel was the story of the fight that was such a difference maker between Zhang and Lemos?
The story was that it was an ass whooping from Weili and a statement to the rest of the women in this division, I think. She beat Lemos up for 25 minutes straight. I said the wrestling and the grappling would be a key advantage for her. That certainly came to bear, and then some. But I also said that I expected Lemos to fade, and even watching live, as much as Lemos was toughing things out early, I was like, holy hell, there's no way this girl makes it the full 25. And she did. So I got to say I was wrong on that one. She toughed it out. Props to her for being as tough as she is, because she did take a beating, but she did not have much to offer Weili. And honestly, that's kind of what I thought going in. I really didn't think she did. She had the power, which of course we knew. There were a couple times where she caught Weili with a stiff shot, and it was like, oh, there's a good one. But Weili had 10 routes to take the fight, and she had 1. And there was nothing that she could do to overcome that. So Weili picks up her first title defense, if that makes any sense.
That's right. Yeah, her first title defense.
And now she will have a chance to, really establish herself here if she can turn back the next 2 girls who seem to be in line, because there's some big fights coming up for her.
Yeah, we will get to that. But for anybody who's a little bit confused by what Mark just said about the first title defense, Zhang, just recapping her record real quick, since 2019, she defeated Andrade for the belt, then defended successfully against Joanna, then lost to Rose, and then she lost to Rose again in the rematch, and then she beat Joanna again, and then she won the belt back by defeating Esparza, and now another successful title defense. So hoping history doesn't repeat itself or rhyme for her this time, and repeats the same sequence of results here. Dude, I also felt like there was a few moments in this fight where I was pleasantly surprised by the dog that was in Amanda Lemos, because she was really getting beat up, and I was like, damn, this girl's fucking sticking this shit out, man. And her power never goes away, of course, and that girl can crack. And there was maybe 1 or 2 moments, there was a handful of moments where like you said, she landed some hard shots on Zhang. There was maybe 1 or 2 of those that I felt really got Zhang's attention.
There was
one
in round 4 where I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. And I thought to myself for a moment, I was like, is Amanda Lemos going to find a shot that either puts Zhang out or sits her on her butt, and then she jumps on her and gets a TKO, and we have an Amanda Lemos champion? But Zhang was able to get the fight to the mat pretty much at will and make the fight her fight for 25 minutes. So props to both of these ladies. But now let's talk about...
To your point real quick,
Yeah.
I thought it was just a great statement from Weili, because I had a little moment where I felt the same as you. Not entirely. Like, Weili was controlling it. But in that fourth round, it started to seem like whenever they had like a prolonged exchange on the feet, Weili was kind of getting beaten it a little bit, which had not been the case all fight. And I had that little feeling of like, oh my God, are we going to get into round 5 and it's going to be like striking and she's going to get caught? And then in round 5, they do strike and she drops Lemos.
Exactly.
So to see that was just like, oh, okay. I'm sorry, Weili, for even doubting that you were not going to dominate this entire thing.
Yeah,
Dog, and if you really took a look at that right hand that she planted on Lemos's face to drop her, holy shit.
Yeah.
That is a beast of a right hand from that woman.
Dude, how good is she? She's so good.
She's the thing that's really
so complete.
ridiculous about
Oh my God.
about Zhang is she's getting better. Like she was elite fucking 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago, and she's getting better. Like the difference in how she's fighting now, and it's I don't even know necessarily if it's technique because she's always been a very technical fighter.
Yeah.
But the strength that she has at this point is stupid. The IQ that she seemingly has in that octagon is also ridiculous as well. And so if you take the technique that she kind of already brought to the octagon in her early UFC days, you add all these championship elements to it, and she's still getting better working with guys like Cejudo and whoever else. Like, damn, Zhang is really good, and it's going to be, I mean, you know, we're going to get into these picks right now, but people like Tatiana Suarez that we, you know, rave and talk about because of how good and dominant they are, those are probably going to be the only fighters at this point going forward that I can even consider beating Weili Zhang because the girl is absolutely fantastic.
She's grown leaps and bounds in the grappling.
Yes.
From the time that Rose out-grappled her, she was like, this is never happening to me again. And you can see it.
For sure. All right, let's talk about where these ladies go from here. Let's start with the champ, Weili Zhang. Mark, what do you think? Who you mentioned two ladies who are in line.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously it could go either way. The two ladies being Yan Xiaonan and Tatiana Suarez. We've said it before on here. Personally, I still think it makes too much sense to try to book an event in China and headline it with Weili against Zhang Yan. I'd be surprised if they can't come up with a way to do that because, you know, they have tried for years to improve their foothold in China and their viewership in China. Yeah. And you don't get an opportunity for a huge Chinese fight every day of the week. As you know, if you've watched MMA for a while, there's not a ton of Chinese fighters at the top. So you have this in your lap right now. I would be very surprised if they don't find a way to book an event over there and have this headline it. But you never know. You never know what goes on behind the scenes. Maybe they can't get an event over there for one reason or another. Who knows? So wouldn't shock me if it ends up being Suarez somehow. I don't think they're going to ask Suarez and Yan to fight each other. I feel like that would be stupid. But, yeah, my guess will be Yan.
I feel like you have a handful. You have like just enough like Chinese and also Asian athletes on the roster to kind of fill out that card. Like you can have like a
you could do it. And
Song Yudong. You can have the Iron Turtle.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. I was just going to say you could put the co-main with non-Asian stars if you needed to, just to have some big names on there, and then you fill it out after that.
Right.
Yeah. The Li Jing Liangs, the Dong Parks. You know, there's Su Young Woo's. No, he's Korean.
Everyone you just named is not Chinese.
But still, it's
Li Jing Liang is Chinese.
Like, Li is Chinese, right?
Li is Chinese. I take that back. That's right. He is.
Park and Suwoo Choi, I think, are both Korean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think it's cool that they're Asian and not Chinese, or is it like insulting
to be on the card?
Right. I don't know.
Yeah,
The way that question was formed was very odd.
Yeah, that was a tough way to ask the question. You're saying would the
Sorry.
Chinese fans respond well to other?
Other Asian continent fighters.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't-
they'll be all right.
Yeah, I don't know what the politics are over there, but it does seem like every time they go to the Saitama Super Arena, everybody's chill with everybody. So
Yeah,
That's cool.
I mean,
That's
granted,
seems
that's
like it's
Japan, but yeah,
yes, but I'm saying just because obviously they get more than just Japanese fighters
yeah.
when they go to Japan. So it seems like from a fighting perspective, maybe they're all chill with each other. I don't know what the politics are between the different countries that are in that region, though.
My guess is it would be all right.
Yeah.
I feel like they would. I think like Adesanya in the co-main would be cool because I feel like he's huge in Asia.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
exactly what you could do. Granted, putting him in a co-main is a little tough,
That's true.
but yeah.
I
he
mean,
is-
you could definitely put him as a main event and put Weili as the co-main event, and I think it would still fucking
I guess,
skyrocket.
but I feel like you want to be able to say like the
Right.
main event, China's own Weili, China's own Yana. Like, I feel like
I
that's the
mean,
whole-
if you listen to the internet, they're going to be like China's own Israel Adesanya too, if we're being honest. So, I mean,
if you guys show him
That's
Strickland.
true. Let's talk about really quick. Let's talk about Amanda Lemos and where she could go from here. Omar, when you look at the landscape of women's strawweight, what do you think could be next for the heavy hitter Amanda Lemos?
so I was looking at it, and I really tried to get down into a fight that I thought would be interesting and would be a fight of consequence for both of these ladies. The reality is I don't really know what the time frame is going to be, or even if it's possible because of the time frame. Amanda Lemos obviously just having finished fought, got a little beat up. I doubt she'll be out for super long, but I don't think she's taking a fight within the next couple months or anything like that. But I was thinking about Virna Jandiroba. Jandiroba was removed from a fight, I believe, back in June because of a knee surgery that she needed. So she did get a knee surgery in June. Maybe 6 months? So you're talking about maybe just before the end of the year she'll be healed. You give her another maybe 3-4 months to sort of like get everything back in order. Maybe the early 2024, spring 2024, you can make that fight happen. I'd be down for that.
Cool, man. Mark, what do you think?
Yeah, it's the same place I was going. It's weird with Lemos. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of options for her. But Jandiroba would make sense. The only thing that would throw a curveball into that is if they did end up booking the Chinese headliner and they needed a fight for Tatiana Suarez, I kind of feel like her fight would actually be Jandiroba, which then makes it really hard to book Lemos. You'd kind of have to go down the line and maybe even end up fighting like a Luana Pinheiro or someone who hasn't really quite made the name yet. But yeah, if it works, that's who I would go with.